In 1967, the Oakland Raiders won the American Football League championship and played in the Super Bowl. This was the first championship year in Oakland's monumental rise to power, which began in 1963 when Al Davis pledged to build a great organization whose will to win and to continually excel would endure the challenge of time. In 1968, there was another championship as pro football's dynamic organization continued its drive for dominance. And in victory, there was pride and deserved joy. In 1969, under young head coach John Madden, the Raiders molded explosive precision offense with quick strike defense. Their 12-1-1 record led all pro football, and what was emerging in Oakland was an unrivaled level of excellence. In 1970, it was a fourth consecutive championship and a season of dramatic last-second victories that rocked the sports world and showcased Oakland Raider pride and poise. Winning against all odds had become a Raider tradition, and it seemed that this wave of glory might roll on forever. But in 1971, the wave broke. And despite an enviable 8-4-2 record, the Raiders lost the championship to Kansas City by inches and seconds. Consecutive championships had finally ended, but never the total commitment that made them possible. From narrow defeat rose the solemn promise that in 1972, the Oakland Raiders would again return to glory. The cross-country opener in Pittsburgh was played without injured Ben Davidson. Kenny Stabler started at quarterback, but the Raiders ran into bad breaks and the rugged Steelers forged a big lead. Ageless George Blanda celebrated his 45th birthday by arching a bomb to tight end Raymond Chester. But the scoring gap was not narrowed until Darryl LaMonica sighted in on rookie wide receiver Mike Ciani. Despite nearly 400 yards total offense and LaMonica's 8 for 10, Oakland's furious finish fell barely short, 34-27. In Green Bay, the Raiders challenged their second eventual division champion in a row. Behind crushing blocking by George Beeler, Bob Brown, Jim Otto, Art Shell, and Gene Upshaw, Marv Hubbard bulldozed for 125 yards in search of victory and a 1,000-yard rushing goal. The Packers led early, but Coach John Madden's young defense was maturing under fire and allowed Green Bay to succeed on only one third down situation. Jack Tatum's recovery and record 104-yard return exemplified the alert Raider defense, which held the Packers scoreless for the last 43 minutes of an inspired 2014 victory, in which Oakland completely dominated play. Finally, the Raiders returned home, and in their first game in the NFL's toughest division, they met the stubborn San Diego Chargers. Behind beautiful protection from all-pro pair Gene Upshaw and Art Shell, LaMonica hit running back Don Highsmith to drive Oakland goalward. But the Raiders trailed the fired-up Chargers 17-14 in the last quarter, until an off-the-dirt 40-yard field goal by George Blanda tied the score and gave Oakland a 1-1-1 record. Then in the Houston Astrodome for a Monday night national TV game, the Raiders exploded. Sure-handed Fred Biletnikoff caught 6 passes as the mighty silver and black offense rolled up 34 points. While Stabler hit Bob Moore for 1 score, the defense, led by Art Toms, number 80, chosen NFL Defensive Player of the Week, shut out the Oilers. Number 34, Gus Otto, and number 41, Phil Villapiano, were instrumental in holding Houston to just 89 yards total offense. Number 48, Nehemiah Wilson, had 1 of 5 Raider interceptions, while Houston completed only 4 passes. The 34-0 triumph was a total team effort that gave notice to the nation that the silver and black were once again bound for glory. In Week 5, the Buffalo Bills visited Oakland, and the man to get was O.J. Simpson, who gave the Bills a 16-7 fourth-quarter lead by rushing for 144 yards and paying for every yard he got. But in that fourth quarter, the Raiders came on relentlessly. Number 28, Clarence Davis, slashed in for 1 score and then rode behind pulling guard Gene Upshaw to add to the Raiders' 21-point last period explosion as the silver and black won going away 28-16. With a 3-1-1 record and offense, defense, and special teams steaming along, it looked like the Raiders' return to glory was inevitable. But the AFC West is pro football's toughest division, and danger faced the Oakland Glory Caravan. In Week 6, the tough, talented Denver Broncos came to town. Bronco quarterback Charlie Johnson had one of his best days ever, ringing up a 24-3 Denver lead. But the comeback-conscious Raiders fought back. Number 23, Charlie Smith, set up 1 score, and top draftee Mike Ciani got another on great effort. But time ran out on the Raiders, who lost 30-23. In week number 7, the Los Angeles Rams walked into a cyclone as the Oakland Raiders faced a must-win situation in their championship drive. Raider broadcaster Bill King described it all on KNBR Radio.
Here's the move on the ball and a kickoff by DePoister. He gets into it very well. On the 3-yard line, Williams takes it up to the 5-10, following the wedge, the 20, breaks through a hole and is dragged down from behind. The fumble at the 26, pile up, Raiders ball. Ciani goes left, Biletnikoff to the right. Hand off to Smith, sending him wide again. Follows up, shot. 5-3, touchdown Raiders. They split Klein out and slot Rensel inside him. Back goes Gabriel up the middle. He throws, intercepted by Tatum at the 45. Falls, gets up, runs to the 50. And he's dancing his way down to the 40-yard line. Only brought down from behind at the 37 by Gabriel. LaMonica gives to Davis, sweeping to the left, has Upshaw in front, he's at the 10, the 5, the 3, touchdown Raiders! He was finally stopped, but too late by Isaiah Robertson. And the Raiders have Two big ones on the board now as they lead 13-0. Davis going in from 8 yards out. Even man alignment with McKeever in that gap in the middle on defense. Back goes LaMonica to pass. He looks. He's throwing deep for Biletnikoff behind Clark. And he's got it! Touchdown, Raiders! Holy Toledo, the Raiders in 6 minutes and a half of football have grabbed a 20-0 lead over the Los Angeles Rams.
And the Cyclone roared on as newcomer Otis Sistrunk, Gerald Irons, and Horace Jones closed down the Ram offense. And the Cyclone roared on as Marv Hubbard added to the eventual club record, 2,376 yards rushing and an NFL high of 297 first downs. LaMonica to number 40, Pete Banaszak, put the Raiders in position for yet another score. And the Cyclone roared on.
Now the Raiders will go 1st and 10 with their offensive unit. LaMonica play fake, back to pass. He's going to go deep. He's throwing to a wide open Chester. Touchdown, Raiders! Brown playing up nose to nose with Snow. Back goes Gabe to pass. He looks, sets up. He's in trouble, runs to the left, throws on the move. Batted up in the air. Willie Brown still fighting for an interception. He's got it at the 30 and goes out of bounds on the 26-yard line. Beathard back to pass. Pumps, setting up deep, looks to throw the screen. Intercepted by Villapiano. The 20, the 30, the 40, the 50. He's chased by a man. He gets away at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 15, the 10. Touchdown, Villapiano!
Raiders 45, Rams 17. A powerful, almost perfect win. Imperfect only because even greater challenges were still to be met. In Kansas City's fantastic new Arrowhead Stadium, the Raiders found themselves unloved before a record crowd of 82,000. Oakland was missing the big play by inches, and the Chiefs raced to a 20-0 lead. The Raiders battled back, but lost 27-14 and dropped to second in the division with a 4-3-1 record. Now, any return to glory depended upon 2 must-win games before facing the Chiefs again. In Cincinnati, the Raiders' defense was superb, blocking passes and field goals and destroying the Bengal offense. Behind disciplined, almost flawless blocking, Charlie Smith raced for 146 yards, and Oakland had the first must-win 20-14. In Denver, pressure mounted, but the Raiders were ready. Oakland defensive mind and muscle were magnificent, as first-year fine Otis Sistrunk, number 60, was everywhere. The secondary, with number 20, Jimmy Warren, closed down the Denver scoring lane. And Coach John Madden's meticulously designed offense was devastating, rolling up 25 first downs and punting not even once. Fred Biletnikoff continued his march to another AFC receiving title as the proud, poised Raiders met the test with must-win number 2, 37-20. Now it was time for a showdown with the Kansas City Chiefs. There's always special tension in the air before a Raiders-Chiefs encounter because for the past 6 years, these meetings have decided championships. This time, Oakland held a 1 1/2 game lead over Kansas City. A Raider win now, and the return to glory was but one step away. From the very outset, it was silver and black dominance. The powerful Raiders grabbed an early lead, blasting for 16 rushing first downs, the most in their proud history. Just 3 weeks earlier, they had been humiliated in Kansas City, but the Raiders never lost sight of the championship goal. They grew tougher, more determined. The Chiefs learned this, and Bill King described it.
Now it's Siani to the left. Biletnikoff to the right against Marsalis. Back is LaMonica. Throws for Biletnikoff. Touchdown Raiders! Biletnikoff is having words right now with Marsalis. Fred caught that ball after quite a physical battle with Marsalis in the right corner of the end zone. He went on out of the end zone, and then instead of slamming the ball into the turf, he ran back in about 10 yards to where Marsalis was and defiantly slammed it in the turf in front of Marsalis. The two tight ends are lined up as tight ends. Back goes Darrell to pass. He's looking for Smith, but instead goes down the middle. Chester, touchdown Raiders! Holy Toledo, what a great call! 19 yards and a Raider touchdown to make it 22-3. Chester had gotten free at the 5 and was all alone in the end zone 2 yards in.
The Raider lead ballooned to 26-3 and stayed there, protected by number 43, George Atkinson, and the entire silver and black defense. It was all over, and more than 54,000 loyal Raider fans knew their team needed but one more win to gain the division championship, their 5th in 6 years. A large group of Raider boosters followed their team to San Diego in Week 12, anxious to see the division title clinched. The defense was sharp, earning breaks for the offense. The famed Raider precision passing built leads at 7-0 and 14-10. But the Chargers rallied and late in the last quarter led 19-14 and were threatening to score again.
The Chargers now have a brilliant opportunity to put this game away. Here's Williams to the left, Garrison to the right. Hadel is going to go to the air. He's back to pass. He throws deep to the end zone, batted up in the air, intercepted by Dan Connors. It was a deflection hit into the air by Willie Brown. And Connors came down with a pass, and the Raiders stopped the Chargers without 6, without even 3 on that drive.
Even after Dan Connors teamed with All-Pro Willie Brown for a crucial interception, the threat continued. But it was as if the Raider fans willed a missed kick and all that followed. Trailing by 5 points with time draining away, the silver and black marshaled the attack team. Darrell LaMonica began a relentless move on the Charger goal. He rifled one to Mike Siani, who was injured on the play and replaced by number 21, Cliff Branch.
Branch splits left, Biletnikoff flanks right, Charlie Smith out to the left as a wingback, leaves only one back to block, that's Hubbard. LaMonica back, gets fine blocking, now he throws down the middle, Branch at the 20. At the 18, tripped up, keeps going, reverses to the 15. He's at the 10. He dances down to the 9-yard line. First and goal to go Raiders. 1 minute and 30 seconds left to go, and hang on to your hats. Branch is still in. He goes to the right, slotted inside Biletnikoff. 5 defensive backs in there. LaMonica gives to Smith, sending him to the left. He's got Upshaw in front. He's at the 5. He's at the 2. It's a touchdown Raiders. Charlie Smith from 9.5 yards out. Oakland has gone in front.
The pledge had been kept. The Oakland Raiders had returned to glory. for they were 1972 champions of the rugged AFC Western Division. In Week 13, the Raiders and Jets played before the largest TV audience in Monday Night Pro Football history. Joe Namath was spectacular and threw an early touchdown pass to give New York the lead. But the now battle-wise Raiders played sound team defense, and 39 passes later, the Jets had been prevented from scoring even one more touchdown.